Here we go. The grid is set. We're ready for 17 laps in Motovation Supersport Race number 1. Revs are up. And away we go. Looks like a good launch from our pole sitter, PJ Jacobson initially. He's on the outside trying to swing back to the inside. It gets really tight down here at the bottom in turn number 2. And it is the 15 of PJ Jacobson with a good launch. And then it's a Strack Racing Yamaha R9. Oh, and a little bit of bump and grind there up the inside.
Josh Hayes and Cam Peterson got together, Greg, and it caused a little bit of turmoil midfield there. So Josh Hayes coming from a long way back. Hasn't had the greatest weekend, but he does what he does. He gets a good launch, gets a good start, and I think he's got himself probably worked into the top 10 by now.
Towards the front of that field, that was Blake Davis on the 22 who nudged his way past Tyler Scott on that Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki. So Matthew Skoltz, the number 1. He didn't have the ripper of a lap in qualifying, but Jay on the front row doing a solid 126.466. It looks like he's super comfortable at the moment on this first lap following the number 15 PJ Jacobson on that Ray Hall Ducati Moto with Expel.
Yeah, it's perfect. And you look back, I saw Josh roll around the outside. Look at Aiden Sneed trying to get racy there with Corey Alexander at the top as well. Josh rode around the outside of Corey in turn 5, so he's continuing his march forward. It's our front row, Greg, like you say, though, up at the front at the moment. And really, it's those two guys setting the pace. Blake Davis, I know, feels like he has the pace to run with these guys all day.
There's a pass for the lead
right there.
So, a nice move by Skoltz to occupy the inside part of the racetrack, forcing PJ a little bit wide. So when we come across the stripe right now, it's going to be Matthew Skoltz with the lead for the moment, but PJ goes up the inside.
See how tight he is there, Greg? Now he's trying to control that speed. Matthew wants to turn it back underneath him, gets on that power a little bit early on the R9.
Blake Davis in turn number 11 with a pass up the inside on PJ Jacobson. So now Strack Racing takes over again, but Blake looks over his left shoulder and he sees a full yellow motorcycle of the Ducati Panigale V2. And there goes PJ sideways, that dirt track background, trying to pay dividends, but Blake has none of it. He forces him out of the way.
And Blake right now, he's got to keep it tight because PJ is going to try to do the same thing. He's not going to make it this time.
So this is going to continue on with this motorcycle as the years go by with the Yamaha R9, but to really have so much success early on is impressive in this next generation Motovation Supersport class.
It really is, and when you get a young guy like Blake, who's the second year, I think, on Supersport, and gone right where he needs to go, top 5. We've seen Max Girardo a number of times. Oh, who's off there? Is that
Josh Hayes?
Is that Josh Hayes? Man, Josh just rode that.
He just saved it?
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh, no, it's not Josh Hayes. Teague Hobbs.
What a save, Teague. We had a 50-50 chance there. The bikes look so alike. But Teague Hobbs does a nice job. But look at Ty Scott and Girardo. Both those guys 4th and 5th. And really impressed to see Max doing what he's doing. A little further back behind them, you're going to have Cam Peterson and Corey Alexander back there. Josh Hayes behind these guys as well. So you can see there's a big group there. Hayes with Kayla and Aiden Sneed will be the last of those. That'll be the top 10 now. And here you go, Greg. You got Cam Peterson, Corey Alexander, Hayes, Kayla, and Aiden Sneed, who's on that MV. It says Kayla takes a shot at Josh going up over the top of turn 1, and she's going to take that spot away.
Against Max Girardo in the Altus GSX-R 750, and Cameron Peterson sets the fastest lap of the race. The number 45 machine is on the charge on that Celtic Economy Lube Plus tire, Warhorse HSBK Ducati Panigale V2. Look at the red bike, red leathers, 45. He's on a tear. Jason, he had the fastest lap of the race. Then Blake Davis had it, and now Cameron Peterson in traffic, trying to get around other riders, has done it again. Look, he's on the charge.
Making a straight line. I love that from Cam. So obviously it's a really poor start from Cam Peterson to this race as he's trying to find a way to get by Girardo. He wants to try to get by him down here into turn 11, but Girardo's taking a shot at Ty Scott. Cam P's going to follow him right through, so it's a 2-for-1. Ty Scott gets passed by both of those guys.
That was a beautiful move by Max Girardo.
Talking about Cameron Peterson, especially as we get to the second half of this race, keep an eye on his lap times continuing to possibly improve. A lot of changes were made overnight, specifically to the geometry of that number 45 Ducati, because yesterday the qualifying session at the end of the day, grip was at a premium, and so the team has really done a lot of work to get that bike set up and to compensate for some of that. Cam came into this race with a ton of confidence.
These three right now locked in battle. People might have been wondering what's going on with these three. They've just been kind of line astern, kind of figuring things out for Matthew. This is exactly the pace that he felt he could run.
Let's give you an update. So up front, these three, 27-0, 27-1, 27-1. Fastest lap of the race just run by Cameron Peterson in fourth at a 127.0.
So this is why Cam's got to keep his head down, keep with these consistent laps. When these guys start dropping maybe a half a second off and Cam starts to see that chunk of time coming back at him, that's going to give him the hunger a little bit more to get in there.
So Cameron Peterson now comes across the stripe. He got a half a second back and goes 26.828 for Cameron Peterson. He is flying. Now, I'm going to cast your mind back to 2017. A young rider named Garrett Gerloff. His fastest race lap record was a 126 flat. Cameron Peterson only half a second off.
Amazing.
As we head back now to Corey Alexander. So the number 23 rider, Corey Alexander, on the Rahal Ducati Moto with roller die informing, has gotten around Maxi Girardo on the Altus Motorsports Suzuki. So Corey Alexander now trying to put some distance between himself. That is for 5th place. And this is what Corey Alexander has needed. Jason, to say that Corey has had an up and down season across the board is an understatement.
Man, I'll tell you, it is such a bummer to see what Corey's gone through this year. Honestly, a lot of bad luck. This is going to do his head a lot of good. He's up there racing with guys that he knows he should be racing with week in and week out. He's battled injuries. He's had all kinds of crazy little things happen as Girardo looks like he wants to take a shot at Corey Alexander. Jamie?
This battle continuing between the two of them for sure, but Corey Alexander, as the team put his, seemingly had a dark cloud looming over him all season long, but remember he did finish inside of the top 5.
This weekend, I'm not sure if he's tested. Just look how tight he is. He's tight and deep into there, Greg, and he gets the bike in there, turned, and doesn't compromise too much. The right-hander here was a little bit trickier, but he did a really good job.
Altus Motorsports. Yeah. What? That was insane.
I was waiting for you to use the Narnia thing again.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
no.
But, yeah, as Ty Scott now looks like he wants to take a shot at Corey Alexander down into turn 2. Isn't quite able to make that. But now you've got this big group again as Josh Hayes has closed back up onto the back of them, and he's brought Aiden Sneed with him, and Kayla just there off the back as well. But, boy.
Now it's up to Corey Alexander to hold off the advances of the 70. And here comes the Vision Wheel M4XR Suzuki rider. And Ty Scott not able to do it. Maxi Girardo was able to do a lap ago.
I was just thinking the same thing. And now Ty Scott better watch out because the number 4 will not need a second invitation.
And that really started in that first practice session on Friday when you go back to the track time that was available to these riders through practice and the 2 qualifying sessions. Blake Davis and Xavi Flores, the two of them working together, took advantage of that, and he did race pace runs on every set of tires, meaning they did 17 laps at least on each set of tires they put on that bike just to make sure that when they got to this racetrack that they knew what they had as Matthew Stoltz now makes that move around PJ Jacobs, and this one continuing to heat up, but Blake Davis at the front should be good to go to the checker.
Well, Jamie, you knew it was coming, right? I mean, Matthew Stoltz, he wasn't just going to sit there all day, and for sure, the number one thing is he's got to beat PJ to claw back at these points. As he runs really wide, he's going to let PJ back through, but Matthew should be able to square this up a little bit. Let's see if he tries the same move that PJ tried on him earlier, and that's exactly what happens. Now PJ might be able to square him up. Greg, I don't think he's going to get close enough. We'll see.
Look at the shadows on the track. That's a good indicator.
He does. And then what's... Man.
Wow.
And what's this allowing? It's allowing the number 22 to disappear. This is where Cam Peterson needed to just be a little bit closer to these guys because you knew it was going to happen. Wide down into turn 2, PJ would go back underneath him. Matt would go underneath him in 3. And then PJ would return the favor in turn 4. And look at this. Matthew's trying to get that bike upright and using up every last little bit of track as PJ's already on the paint. There's nowhere else for PJ to go there.
He's just off there, but we have 2.5 laps to go. Look how close they're racing. To the top of the corkscrew we go. Stoltz has position.
To do that there, PJ was taking some big chances to go down the outside, and you can see it's going to cost him a little bit as he has a look over his shoulder. Who's there? Yeah. He's going to be able to run a normal line lap, and by that I mean, Greg, he's going to be able to open up these turns and carry his corner speeds. He doesn't have to be defensive. He was a little defensive going into turn 11 that lap, and made me wonder if maybe he didn't know the lead that he had. So let's just continue to see as Blake is cleared off. Matthew is now cleared off from PJ. It looks like that's going to be pretty safe. But how about this young man, Greg? This will be his second win of the year, I believe it would be. And he's done it in style. You see him protecting the left side of the track. Even when you see that +1 on your board, in your brain, +1 seems like 0.1. And so you get a little bit to where you feel like you have to protect things. And this is a big win for this team if these guys bring it home first, second.
Oh, yeah, that'd be huge. And Blake Davis, by the way, he's working lap 17, but back on lap 15, was able to pull off his fastest lap of the race at a 1:26.930, showing how good Strack Racing has the Yamaha R9 working with these Dunlop tires in its first season. Down through Rainey he goes. Just a couple corners left for Blake Davis. This young man has been touted as Yamaha's bright future, and it's taken a couple races at the beginning of the season for him to get himself sorted out with this team. But now, as he goes into turn 11, he'll squeeze the throttle. Onto the front straightaway he goes, and victory is going to go to Blake Davis on his Strack Racing Yamaha R9, just ahead of his teammate, Matthew Skoltz. And PJ Jacobson in third, Cameron Peterson in fourth, and there goes Aiden Sneed. He just lost the front going into 11 and saved it. But now he's got to squeeze the throttle, and to the line they go. Gerardo and Corey Alexander, and Aiden Sneed's going to hold on to his best finish in Supersport, 7th place over Hayes, Ty Scott, and Kayla Yakov. Get to know the 98, Aiden Sneed. This is his coming out party as he is in an elite front group of riders. But 22 Blake Davis, what a race for him. From second on the grid, and he was not going to take second. Jay, the impressive thing about this young man is that he put all the pressure on himself. He led with PJ right on his tailpipe and Skoltz right there as well, and it didn't look like he flinched at all.
Not at all. Wheelie game is strong too.
Yeah, wheelie game is strong. Oh, wow, and he's able to modulate the throttle up the hill.